Let's go. Now you can all hear me well, I guess. If you do, please thumbs up. Yes, I see Rose and Phil. Fantastic. Welcome to this very special event. If you've attended one of our web classes in the past at Ideas on Stage, this is going to be different. It's going to be a different event. It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. We called it PowerPoint Karaoke. And the idea is that we've got 5 speakers today, 5 volunteers or victims, depending on how you look at it. Let's say volunteers, courageous people. Thank you very much. And each of them will be given 5 minutes to go through a set of 10 slides, but slides they've never seen before. So this will really test everybody's ability to improvise. And that's what we're going to do. Now, let me just make sure that we are all muted for now. And I hope you can still hear me. Yes. Now, before we get started, I see a lot of familiar faces, but just in case, for those who don't know me or us at Ideas on Stage, just a super quick introduction. Now, my name is Andrea Pacini. I'm a presentation coach. I'm the founder of Ideas on Stage UK. I'm in London, but we are also in Paris, Milan, Barcelona, and LA in the US. In fact, we've got Phil from our office, the co-founder of Ideas on Stage from our office in Paris. He's in the call together with Rose, who is the head of Ideas on Stage in LA. Just to give you an idea, in the last 11 years, we've been working with thousands of clients, from small business owners and professionals to clients like Microsoft, Lacoste, the World Bank. We've been coaching more than 500 TEDx speakers so far. And we specialize in working with established business owners who want to grow their business and increase their influence through great presenting. And we are on a mission to change the way people think about presenting. And my vision for the next 10 years is to help 1,000 purpose-driven entrepreneurs share the message, make an impact, and be memorable. Why? Because I believe that if you want to make an impact, the best thing you can do is to be an entrepreneur or a business leader who has a vision that goes beyond just making money. And I know that for them, if they can use their voice for good and we like to help them, then we can all contribute to changing the world for the better. So that's why we do what we do. But enough about me. We are here to not to talk, but we are here to play and have fun with PowerPoint Karaoke. And I would say let's get started with the first speaker. We've got 5 speakers today. The first one is, I don't know if Matteo has already joined us.
Yes, I am.
Oh, fantastic, Matteo. So we've got Matteo Carini, who is a great friend of mine. Thank you very much. I don't know, Matteo, why you said yes to this.
I don't know.
I wouldn't have done it. No, just kidding. So thank you very much for accepting our invite. And then we've got Julia, a friend of Ideas on Stage as well, and Ellen as well, and Nikita, and Sam Clark. Fantastic. So the way it works is we're going to have each speaker. We're going to start with you, Matteo. 5 minutes. I'm going to advance the slides on your behalf. And then after each speaker, we are going to have a quick feedback from my colleagues, Rose and Phil. Okay. Before we get started, especially the speakers and especially you, Matteo, as the first one, do you have any questions?
Not really. Shall I tell you to advance the slide or?
Matteo, great question. This is the first time we do it. Let's try to be I know it's not easy, but let's try to be coordinated without saying next slide, please. But of course, if you do need to say that, feel free to do it, and then I'll do what you want. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen. Matteo, can you see yourself here?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So from now on, Matteo, you've got 5 minutes and you're going to talk about this.
Okay, great. Thank you everyone for being here today. Really thanks a lot for this, presentation that you are here today. So first of all, today we're going to talk about 3 key success factors. So the webinar is going to start very soon. So please stay tuned, because we're going to advance very soon. If you don't have your camera on, please go on, start your camera. We would like to see you today, your nice faces on, and keep ready because we are about to start. So, you know that feeling that you have when you hold those hands, when you are at that special moment and you are there, you are almost there, you are about to say something really important, and the moment it's really everything that you have wished for. You couldn't say anything else. But then you got a call. You got a call, and yes, of course, your best friend are calling just in that moment. And at that moment, what would you like to do? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Your friends knows. They know that you are in that moment. You have organized for so long. And yes, you are there and you don't know what to do. And Kirsten is there, but then you think of all the work that you have done, in those hard days at making presentation, and organizing that date, that special day, that special moment, and all the effort that you put in those moments, in those creating presentation. And there is only one thing that you hate: someone that interrupts your presentation. And in that case, that special moment that you are trying to create. So whenever that happens, whenever that moment, that disruption is actually happening there, and you don't know what to do, well, there is just one man up for the task: Andrea Pacini. So call him, Ideas on Stage, and he's going to help you. And yes, he's going to tell you that there are 5 major rules. Keep it simple, clear, original, related, and enjoyable. If you can do that, you will gonna score a great goal for your team, for your special date. But yes, you got it. And as Andrea would like to remind us, whenever he's basically teaching all of us, coaching all of us, well, yeah, people have a short memory. Their attention span is not that long, and moreover, they are bombarded every day with tons of information. So if you need to say something, if you are preparing a presentation, a special moment, whatever you are doing, yes, you need to get that clear. You have one thing you want to say, one thing needs to get across from your presentation, from your message. And then you can have in your slide just 3 major areas that you should focus on. You need to have a great title, some great message written there, or with an image, or a message and an image. So don't try to combine together too many things. I would say 3 major elements in your slide, as Andrea would say, they are definitely enough. This is not about you when you are there. You need to make them feel, make them live what you are saying, so that they will remember your message. So it's not about how you feel, it's about how they feel during your presentation and what they will carry with them home. So you have 5 methods, 5 areas to focus on. Are you ready to score with your presentation today? And from today, ever onwards. So thank you to Andrea that will teach us all of this in the near future. If you have any question, please go ahead and ask now.
Matteo, wow, fantastic. I think Rose, if I'm not wrong, perfectly on time, right?
Yes, with a couple seconds to spare.
Fantastic, fantastic. Matteo, before hearing from Rose and Phil for some quick feedback, how did it feel? Super complicated, isn't it?
Wow, yes, it was super complicated, especially at the beginning. I say, what the hell is happening? The picture of the two people there at the date, then the dogs. I was like, oh my god! Now it didn't make any sense at the beginning to me. So I was like, yeah, let's make up a story. Let's see how it goes.
And you did really well. And also, Matteo, this is something that's by definition very hard. And for you, it was even harder because you had to break the ice and you were the first one. So really, congratulations. Now, Rose or Phil, who would like to just give a very quick feedback, please, just no more than 1 minute to Matteo.
Andrea, you have to tell us who, because we're both going to have a lot to share.
So now let's go with you for Matteo, Rose.
Okay, Phil, I'm taking this one. So Matteo, great work. In general, I really get a sense that you understand the basics and the necessities of the SCORE method and how to present. So I love that you were natural. I love that you were just speaking with us. Now, I think my favorite moment was make them live your presentations. They have to feel what you're saying. Yes, that's the point. Well done. Now, some critical feedback. How can you improve your presentation karaoke skills? All right, number one, technically speaking, your camera is a little low, so we couldn't see your shoulders and your chest. We were missing some connection with you in the gesture posture area, right? Then you completely missed the opportunity of the two dogs. I didn't hear anything about the two dogs following the hand holding. I really wanted to hear about why dogs were so important to intimacy. Do you know what I mean? So just remember to really address each slide you hit. And when there's a quote, I highly recommend you read the quote so that we're not busy listening and reading at the same time. Otherwise, great work. Thank you for kicking this off. And I look forward to hearing our next speaker.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Rose. And let's go then. Let's go with Julia. So Julia, please feel free to unmute yourself. And if you are ready, please thumbs up. And then we get started with your 5 minutes. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to give you the top 3 slide tips for great presentations. Get ready for this, guys. Why do you need to know these? Well, you don't need to know 10 top slide tips because that would be way too much, but you need to know these 3 things. They're so important. Like, here is a beautiful plate of food. You don't see a whole load of food on here. You see a piece of fish, some greenery, and a stack of vegetables. Those are the 3 important things you need to know. Well, what's wrong with slides? Yeah, they make people bored. And look at that poor dog. He's even bored by it. And why is the main reason why people are bored when they're looking at slides? Because there's too much text. It's a problem that all people doing presentations have because they want to get across complex ideas very often, but they have to reduce it to an image because an image speaks 1,000 words. So do the image, remember the text, put 1 quote up or very little text and talk to your audience, engage them. Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. So here is a typical slide. There's way too much text on here. People are not going to be able to read it and listen to you. So be like this little red guy here. He's talking. Don't read your text. Know your topic. Talk to your audience. Engage with them with eye contact, but do not read your text. This is a crime scene. Absolutely. This is death by PowerPoint. So you've got to get some great images. There are plenty of free sites to get great images on, Unsplash, Pexels, etc. You've got to use white space in the background and big text, and you've got to have a third. So there's not too much information on there. The human brain cannot take in too much at the same time. So make that picture powerful, have white space as well, and have a third, text, white space, and image. Right, so here is Steve Jobs, who is the supremo, or was the supremo, of doing great presentations. Look at the slide of that, the size of that text. He was so good at doing that, talking to his audience and having very few important images and big text. You need to be like him if that's possible. And here is Piccadilly Circus. What a mess. Look, can you take any of that in? You need one big picture. You don't want to be bombarded by different things. So keep it simple and keep it powerful. Yeah, and you know, you've got 5 seconds right at the beginning of your presentation before people will just, you know, they'll switch off if you haven't engaged them in those first 5 seconds. You really got to say something funny, something engaging, you know, a funny meme, something to get them on your side right at the beginning. Use those 5 seconds really well. And do you have any questions? What questions might you have? You might say, can we make it that simple? Well, yes, you certainly can. Look at Andrea. Look at how well he does his school presentations. He's your inspiration.
All right. Julia, thank you very much. Congratulations. A big round of applause, everybody, for Julia. I have to say, Julia, now we're going to have a quick feedback from Phil, but I have to say this is a presentation that I've given, and pretty much like 80% of what you said is what I would have said. So really, really great job. Phil, do you have any feedback for Julia?
Well, so first of all, Julia, congratulations. I think indeed you did a fantastic job. It really did seem as if you had seen those slides before, or that you had followed Andrea's training before. Now, I don't know you. I don't know whether you have, but indeed, practically everything you said was exactly the kind of thing that we say. So not only did you improvise well enough and know the stuff, but you've just given us all a lot of really useful presentation tips as well. So special kudos for speaking about the dog. So you got the dog in this time. That was really good. I guess the one thing I would say is that when you get to the 5 seconds there at the end, you gave us 5 seconds to grab people at the beginning, which is true, which is important. You do need to grab people's attention right at the start. I think what he was trying to get at is every slide you show is you've got 5 seconds to make sure they understand it. Otherwise, they stop listening. And so that would have been a little bit more connected with the rest of the subject of it. But hey, that was fantastic. All I will say then to you and the other speakers is, let's make sure we get a good conclusion as well, if we can. So if we get a good conclusion in there, just the very last things, that'll be cool. So maybe Andrea, when you show the slide that says the end, let's give the speaker the chance to give a conclusion if they have time left, which Julia did. So Julia, I think that was fantastic. And the bar is certainly very high for the other speakers. Well done.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you very much, Phil. As always, great piece of advice. And now we've got Ellen. So Ellen, please do unmute yourself. I think we've got Ellen, right? Yes. Okay, perfect. Now, Ellen, just so you know, we've got one of the other speakers, Sam. Sam has been kind enough, very kind, to send me his own presentation. So Sam is the CEO of Sam, am I pronouncing your company correctly? Conjure?
Yeah, it's Conjure.
Conjure.
That's right. And I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping this works. Yeah, I'll let you get on with it.
Yeah, of course. So what you're going to do, Ellen, you're going to tell us about Conjure, Sam's company. And if you have any questions for Sam before you get started, then please keep your questions to yourself, because there is no opportunity for you to ask. Okay, so from now, 3, 2, 1, have fun.
Hello, I'm here to talk to you today about our company, Conjure, interfacing with the future. We work with a lot of brands, as you can see on the screen, really big brands and quality companies. We provide excellent services for all of these. Our core services are strategy, design, and technology. And we are at the top of our game when it comes to these three services. You really should get in touch. Because we have managed to do such a great job for our clients, they are always sending us great feedback. And we hope that you can take a look at this feedback and see why you should get in touch with us. I'll read the first one. We see Conjure as a trusted partner that understands our DNA and our products. Platforms, and strategic vision as well as we do. This is one of the aspects that we pride ourselves in, capturing the DA of the company. You can easily access our services on all of your platforms, whether it's your mobile phones, your laptop, or your iPad. You can find us very easily. Our performance can be compared to McLaren. So think about the performance of those cars on race day. That is Conjure for you. We also help you optimize your website. This is an example of the work that we have done for Placebo. Look at the images, look at how brilliant the colors are. This gives you a sense of who they are. And for those of you who are in love with smartphones and smartwatches, you can get in touch with us as well. You can see our services on your smartwatch. Our workshop packages, we have two options. One is the Design Method Lab, and the other one is Innovation Sprint. This is so that we can offer a service that neatly fits in with your company's DNA and the size of your company. So we have something for everyone when it comes to our three services. The team's creativity, attention to detail, and understanding of our brand have put the GT at the forefront of supercar HMI game. This is feedback from one of our clients, Ford. If Ford can say that about our company, why don't you get in touch? Thank you. We hope to hear from you at Conjure.
All right. Again, fantastic. Ellen, big round of applause for Ellen. Sam, if you are looking for a sales director or a presenter at your company, you've got Ellen, so feel free to reach out.
Sold. That was brilliant, Ellen. Brilliant.
Thank you. I hope I didn't mess it up.
No, it was amazing. Amazing. I learned a lot there about my own business.
All right. So, Rose, would you like to share some feedback for Ellen?
Absolutely. Yes. Ellen, wow, well done. I would say immediately what stood out to me most was your fearlessness with using pauses. I loved how much space you allowed to be there around your phrasing and around your key messages. You got that up front and center, get in touch. Maybe a little too soon, in my opinion, in terms of the selling approach. There was some tooting of the horn from a get in touch standpoint. So for those out there who do sell, right, we don't want to push that too quickly, too upfront, but you were so relaxed, Ellen. You were relaxed and easy to listen to. And one other thing that really stood out was for those of you in love with smartphones, right? This emotional language and that bidding for connection, that's my time. So I have to just say really fast, the slides were a little text heavy and the font was a little small. So I know you could control that. So if you could just adjust that element in your slides, that would be my one slight piece of feedback. Otherwise, just fantastic work and great use of the camera. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Rose. And so let's continue. Now we've got Nikita. So we've got two more speakers, Nikita, and then we're going to finish with Sam. So let me see here. I should see Nikita. Yes, I do see you.
Yes.
Fantastic. Right. So are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. So from now, have fun. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, hi. Hello, everyone. So I welcome you on Ideas on Stage. So today we are talking about a virtual meeting revolution. So in a world where the pandemic is there, we need tips and ideas to make our virtual meetings a real success. We don't want our audiences to fall asleep immediately. And that's the reason why we are here. And I'm going to talk to you about it very soon. So why is virtual attention necessary? Yes, you don't want your audiences to fall asleep immediately. You don't want them to shut their cameras and doze off to some sleep. You don't want them to, read some text, and by the time it's the third point or something, the third slide, they are already losing attention. So virtual attention is the key thing, what you want to make an impact. So today we'll cover 5 steps to virtual meeting success. What are these steps? As you can see, it's foundation, ideation, creation, illustration, and connection. So in terms of foundation, you have to build the connect. We have to understand what the audience is looking for, and then match that with our purpose. So the foundation has to be really strong. The next is the ideation. So don't bombard the audience with unnecessary visuals, unnecessary facts, unnecessary images. So that is something what you shouldn't pollute. So as it says, don't pollute your meetings with unnecessary presentations. Just focus on the point. Okay. The next is, so if you see in the phase 1 of, you have to first make yourself strongly founded. Only then will you be able to drive the entire presentation. Yes, so if you see this huge machine, it has already founded, and then only will it be able to create start working properly. Okay, the next one is ideation. As we said that it doesn't have to be unnecessary bombarding of anything. It has to be clear to the point. Okay, so that's with that set in place, it has to be an interaction with the team, with the there has to be a proper collaboration. There has to be a bonding which you have to build with the participants. So that can be in various ways. It can be, you're talking something with them, and there is some connectivity. You ask them some questions about their daily thing, how's their pandemic work from home going on. So there has to be an interaction continuously. And in a team way or in a webinar, there is a very less chances that there is a continuous interaction. If you are there in front of the audience, it is the chances are very high that the session will be interactive. However, if it is a webinar or a webcast, the kind of, or the attentiveness or the interaction is reduced. Okay, so let's understand Jeff Bezos' approach towards this. Okay, so he doesn't talk to about he takes 2, 1, and 0. So he doesn't stick to PowerPoint. He doesn't take PowerPoint as the first thing. It starts with images. It starts with and then, yeah. Okay. And then he comes to the ingredients. So the key ingredients of making a pizza. Yes. So that will be like, it has to be a discussion. Then there has to be an interaction which is going on. And and then towards the end, he comes towards a presentation. And it's not about only reading text, but it's a more of an interactive way. It's quiet reading and it's a lot of brainstorming out there. So this is not the end. It's not even the beginning of the end, but it perhaps is the end of the beginning, as said by Winston Churchill. So this is what you should remember. And yes, for this, we have ideas on stage to help you make your impactful presentations and understand how your presentations should be. Yes, thank you.
Again, round of applause, Nikita. So sorry. I know the Jeff Bezos slide was way too complicated. Sorry about that. I just found it a bit fun to include it. Phil, have you got any feedback for Nikita?
Oh boy, I think that was really tough for you. And I say that knowing that I actually created those slides because that's part of a training course I give, which is called Virtual Meeting Revolution. And I had no idea that Andrea was going to pull those out. But you know what? I think you did a really great job, especially on the graph where it was between interaction and participants. I wasn't sure you'd got it, but you did, and you really got that really clearly. The Jeff Bezos slide, 2 pizzas, that's never invite more people to a meeting than you can feed with 2 pizzas. Give them a document to read at the start, and then 0 PowerPoint. But you had no way of knowing that. And I think you did really, really well. That was a great conclusion, and you did it with a smile, and I think we all enjoyed it. And if we can all enjoy a presentation, you know what? That's actually a pretty good way of getting your message across. So well done. I think you did great.
Fantastic. Phil, thank you so much again. And we've got our last speaker, who is Sam Clark. Now, Sam, in the same way as you shared your slides, we've got James Bohr in the call. And James is the director of Bohr's consultancy, and he's the one, he worked with us to improve his already brilliant communication and presentation skills. And we were talking to each other, and he said, why don't we do this thing, PowerPoint Karaoke? So he's the one who gave me the idea to organize this special event. And at Bohr's, they are all about security, cybersecurity from an IT perspective. So that's just one thing for you to know. That's what you're going to talk about, okay?
Excellent, thank you.
And so then if you are ready, I'm going to give you 5 minutes from 3, 2, 1, now.
Hi there, my name's Sam Clark, and I'm representing a cybersecurity company today, the No Network is an Island business, which is represented here by this photograph of an island. What does security mean in an increasingly interconnected world? I'm going to tell you. Next slide, please. The internet is really big and really scary. We have Facebook, Google, Yahoo, and Bing.com. And in between all these places, we have lots of other little bits of data. And your information, your data could be out there, and anybody might be able to steal it. But everything can connect, as represented by this photograph here of lots of spots on the map, all connecting up. This looks pre-COVID. I don't think there's that much air travel as much of that these days. But we will be there with you along the way to make sure that we can connect your data and make sure it's safe. So here we have another representation of everything being connected. We have printers, washing machines. We have monitors, lamps, we have cameras, phones, light bulbs, and a plane. Now, we protect all of this stuff by taking an integrated 360 vertically approach to everything that we do. We have a crack team of developers, we have front end, we have back end, we have security across the board. We've even got a man on the door with a gun. That's how secure we are at this secure operation. And that's crucial because somebody could be attacking your juicerow or your fork, and as we all know, there's no I in business. Next slide, please. Yes, most things are insecure. 70% of watch firmware was transmitted without encryption. Watch firmware. 2 in 10 devices are stolen in a stolen smartwatch scenario could be paired with an attacker's smartphone. Double direct attack. 50%, I can't actually read that bit because my Zoom thing's covering up. 50% of tested devices that offer the ability to implement a screen lock PIN. But don't worry, our systems, we're going to save you all of that hassle. We're going to be stepping there. We're going to be sorting this, and it's going to be great. Our prices are reasonably priced, which you'll be reasonably pleased to know. Next slide, please. The boundary is gone. Classic mistake here. You know, you erect a fence thinking things are going to be secure, and you forget to put the rest of the fence up. A little bit like Donald Trump in the States. Says he's going to build a wall, doesn't get it finished. What are you going to do? But don't worry, our crack wall building team will be there. We will have that wall up and sorted in no time at all. Because if you don't build your wall right, it'll end up looking like this. It'll either explode, it will get decentralized, or it'll end up distributed. Right, the third example here is probably the best way to make your wall because it's harder to get around that. But that's all positive. You don't want your wall on the left because that's a wall exploding, which is not good for anybody. So back to some old principles: trust but verify, least privilege, minimum function, and only give away information on a need-to-know basis. That's really, really important. No single points of failure on your wall or your smartphone or your juicer, because that's none of that's any good. And as my good friend Jennifer Zuckerman said, as long as tech companies continue to look at security as a feature rather than as a fundamental operating characteristic, they'll be unable to cooperate to build proper security infrastructure. Never a truer word said. I was with Jennifer when we were just chatting about the weather, enjoying a quiet pint, and then she popped that bad boy out. I had to ask her to repeat it, so I had to write it down, which I did, and we got it nailed on this slide, and I've passed on that nugget of wisdom. That's free of charge, and that's my presentation. Thank you very much.
Wow. Congratulations. Big round of applause for Sam. Fantastic. I loved your energy, Sam, and your intensity. Fantastic. All right. So, Rose, would you like to share any feedback?
Yes, that was so fun, Sam. I completely agree with, and I have to give myself a minute, otherwise I will go over time. The intensity and joy, your smile was just radiating. It was incredible. So very, very captivating and awakening. For me on the West Coast, that's helpful. It's 8:40. I started this quite early today. So, and boy, that buzzword storm that fell across us all from back end, front end. I didn't know what end we were starting from, but I really trusted you because you had all of those crazy words, right? No, and I'm kidding, guys. Of course, Sam, that was fabulous because you were demonstrating the perfect thing not to do in a presentation, which is using all the words that really are gobbledygook. So thank you so much for demonstrating that piece. Yes, and then your voicing, you modulate beautifully. It's very sing-songy. However, there was one moment, because I think it's a British accent, and Phil is guilty of this as well. There's a mumbling humor that happens, and for us who speak proper English in America, we can't really make it out. So you really have to enunciate, right? You totally respected the time limit. Thank you for that. And last but not least, okay, fabulous use of Donald Trump in the wall. Don't really understand how it relates, but you brought it right in. And your use of anecdote with Jennifer, amazing. I saw you guys having that pint. I felt it, right? But you missed the opportunity to conclude with your what, so what next? So I missed that call to action, but better luck next time, Sam. You did great.
Rose, thank you. I also want to thank you, Rose, and Phil, because I'm sure this is not hard just for the speakers, but even for you to provide feedback on an improvised presentation, it must be super hard. So thank you very much.
Especially with my English accent.
Yes.
Especially with your accent.
I mean, all those of us who don't speak proper English, right?
But
Thanks for that, Rose. I understood you, Sam.
All right. So what we're going to do now, we've got, as we wrap up, I'm going to launch a poll because I want to select a winner, the champion. And of course, this is not a competition, but let's make it fun and entertaining. So I'm going to launch a poll. Now, if some of you, maybe Rose, Phil, I don't know, maybe James as well, if you are a co-host, maybe you're not going to see the poll, but I would say everybody can vote. If you can see the poll, even yourself, like Sam, the speakers, feel free to vote for yourself if you want to, but if you think that somebody else has performed maybe a little bit better, why not? Then I trust that you're going to give the vote to that person. So I'm going to launch the poll. Please let me know if at least some of you can see thumbs up, if some of you can see the poll. Yeah. So it's anonymous, so feel free to go. I'll give you a few seconds and then I'll tell you why we are launching a poll. All right, a few more seconds. I see lots of votes coming in. Okay, I'll give you 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And I'm going to share it. Are we ready, everybody? Yeah. The winner is, you should see on the screen, Sam. Congratulations, Sam. Congratulations, really well done. Now, here is what you get for being the winner. Now, a couple of things. First of all, when it's ready, now you need to know that my colleague Phil is going to publish a fantastic book on the 14th of July, Business Presentation Revolution. Now, Sam, I have to say, I've read like thousands of books, particularly like presentation skills, public speaking related books. Of course, I'm biased, but I have to say that this is really an amazing book. And now we don't have it yet, but we don't have a printed copy yet, but as soon as we receive it, it's going to be published on the 14th of June. I'll send it to you, okay? So that's one thing. Also, Sam, I'm going to give you access for free to my own online course. If you see here, people seem to like it. Create and design memorable presentations. It has 26 video lessons for a total of more than 2 hours of content with lots of tools and templates, super practical. You can apply these principles to your very next presentation. So I'm going to send you a coupon code that gives you 100% discount so you can get it for free. Okay. And also for all the others, we also want to give a little something to all the other speakers. So what we are going to do with everybody, with the other 4 speakers, we are going to send you a PDF copy of Phil's book. So from a content perspective, it's exactly the same thing. It will not be a printed copy, but you're going to receive a PDF copy. And I hope that's useful. Now, thank you very much again. As we approach the conclusion, let me just, in case anybody is interested, let me just take 1 minute, no more, just 1 minute, just to tell you a little bit more about what we do and how it might be able to help. Now, it's very simple. Most business leaders struggle to present their ideas effectively. And so at Ideas on Stage, we've created a coaching program that helps you present effectively, that helps you share a compelling message. Now, when you present a compelling message, your audience takes action and your business grows. Or if you don't have a business, your audience understands your messages. They support them. They believe in your ideas. And so your level of reputation, your career progression, your level of influence, all of these things become much easier. So if this speaks to you, and in general, if you'd like to learn just a little bit more about how we might be able to help, either now or in the future, then you can express your interest today in a free consultation. This is another bonus for everybody. This is a 1-hour consultation with me. Now, it's not for everybody. This is only for established business owners or senior professionals who are motivated to take their presentation skills to a higher level and who are also ready to take action to make it happen. So if that's you, what we would do in that session is we would look at where you are today with your presentation skills, where you want to be, what you're trying to achieve, and also what's in the way, if there is anything. Based on that, I can explain to you what you could do if you really want to get this right. And then with no commitment from your side, that also becomes an opportunity for you to learn more about the way we work with our clients. So you see, no commitment from your side, but the objective of the consultation will be for both of us to understand if there is a fit between what you may be looking for and what we have to offer. If you're interested, super simple. All you need to do is just type a quick yes in the chat box now, either in the general chat box or privately to me if you prefer. I know that some people prefer to express their interest privately, and I see a couple of yeses already in my private chat. Now, just to clarify, if you are typing yes, first of all, you are not committing to anything. You are just expressing your interest. And also, that doesn't mean that you will get the consultation, because I want to make sure that you qualify. So I'll get in touch to check if you qualify. And if that's the case, we'll go ahead. Okay, so if you're interested, just let me know. And I would say if there is one thing I would really like you to take away from this event today is, and it's something, Julia, do we still have Julia in the call? Yes, Julia, it's something that I've learned from you, because when I posted this idea of PowerPoint karaoke and you volunteered on LinkedIn, you said, I want to speak at this event because this is part of my policy to do things that scare me, right? And that's great. It's a great approach. I love it. And that's the best approach we can have if we want to get better at anything. It's not just about public speaking and presenting, but if we want to get better at something, if we want to improve, we need to be ready to do things that sometimes can also scare us. And presenting, definitely, sharing some ideas in front of a group of people can be scary. It can be uncomfortable. It's definitely something that doesn't come natural to most of us. If we think about it, presenting in front of a group of people is not a natural thing to do. So Julia, your approach is great. And also connected to this, some time ago, I read a book. It was a book on copywriting. So nothing to do with public speaking. But there was a strong connection there, because the author said, look, if you want to get great at copywriting, first you need to be good. You can only be great at something if first you are good at that particular thing. And the only way to be good at that thing is first to be bad. If you want to become good, there is a point where it's okay to be bad. And the only way to be bad is first to try. And the same applies to presenting and public speaking. And that's what you've all done today. The 5 speakers, really congratulations, because you've tried. It doesn't have to be perfect. You've tried. And that's the first step to maybe, it could be that sometimes we give a presentation, it could be bad. That's okay. That's the best way, like even being bad at presenting is the best way for all of us to then be good at it and then to become great at it. And that's what you've done today. Thank you very much. I want to thank all the speakers, everybody who attended, James Ball for giving me the idea of hosting this event, Phil and Rose for all your support. Thank you very much again. Let's do one big round of applause for the speakers again, everybody. And as always, share your message, make an impact, be memorable. Let's keep in touch. All the very best. Ciao.